Good morning. Welcome to another one night meditation. I've got one more setting to get into place here. Just a second. There we go. Our teacher for this week is Lao Tzu, and his message for us today is about being present. That the power lies in the present moment, just as Eckhart wrote in his beautiful book, The Power of Now. Sunmari, good morning. So good to see you there. Anna-Marie, good morning. Joanne, good morning. Stefan, good morning. I feel honored having you in my present moment today. Let's get into today's message. Not being present always means that we are out of alignment. Out of alignment with what? And simply out of alignment with reality. Out of alignment with what really is. Good morning, Sarah. Good evening, Anthony. Hello, Colette. Really good to see you all. When we're not being present, then we are not facing this moment exactly how it is. Then some or a lot of our energy is being spent on a wish that this moment was different. What if all the energy spent in resistance to this moment was simply spent in dealing with what this moment calls for? Grain, a very good morning. Danae, a very good morning to you too. So let's get into Lao Tzu's thoughts. Lao Tzu says, "One who lives in accordance with nature does not go against the way of things. He moves in harmony with the present moment, always knowing the truth of just what to do." Lao Tzu says, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you're very likely living in the present moment. Lao Tzu says the past has no power to stop you from being present right now. Only your grievance about the past can do that. What is grievance? It is the baggage of old thought and old emotion. Lao Tzu says this is what mostly prevents us from being present. The baggage of old thoughts and old emotion. Lao Tzu says he who controls his thoughts about the past controls his future. And the last thought says, new beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. And this is one more example of one of the things that makes it tough for us to be present sometimes. A painful ending very often keeps us trapped in the thoughts of emotions of the past, not realizing the new beginning that it could bring. Imagine for a moment a door slammed in your face, just an inch in front of your nose. How much energy will you spend holding on to the idea that this door used to be open? It takes stepping into presence in order to take a step backwards and look around to see what other doors there might be to go and knock on. And this is a much more productive application of your energy. So if you're ready, let's float away on today's journey together with Lao Tzu. You can close your eyes and we'll start with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. When you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Be here. Be now. Right now, there's no other place to be. And that is the essence of being present. It doesn't mean be here and sit and breathe with me forever. This moment will pass and the next moment will start. But it means there is nothing productive about trying to already be in the next moment. It will come. And then you will take care of that next moment. But right now, there's no other place to be. Be here. Be now. With every exhale, as you soften, feel yourself stepping out of the past. With every exhale, as you soften, feel yourself step out of the story of the past. Lao Tzu says, if you're experiencing depression, you are likely living in the past. With every exhale, step out of the future. With every exhale, step out of the worried story about the future. The story about the worst case scenario that might be lying ahead. Lao Tzu says, If you are experiencing anxiety, you are likely living in the future. With every exhale, feel the past and the future roll off your shoulders, like putting baggage down. And feel yourself be present. Feel yourself be right here, right now. Lao Tzu says, if you are experiencing peace, you are likely living in the present. And that is not because the present is always necessarily blissful or without problems. But if we are present, facing what we're dealing with, not wishing we were somewhere else, not wishing this moment was somehow different, then even when we're dealing with the stuff we need to deal with, we are more likely to be at peace, taking care of what needs to be taken care of. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down in as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. Roll out your neck muscles, going forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. See if you're able to lean your head towards the left and tilt your hips towards the right, curving your spine into an S from your head down to your tailbone, and then change direction. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as much as we are able to do that, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body and feel how softness follows and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling, feel your body slowly softening, and feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. As you release, feel yourself melting, feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, think of this concept one more time, being present. What is your relationship with this idea, the idea of being present? Take your next big breath. we'll start to explore being present by taking a look at what is the thing that gets in the way. What is the thing that tends to prevent us from being present? And it's when we hold on to our thoughts, our idea of what we thought this moment should have been. That's a mouthful. I'll try and say it again. When we are holding on to our thoughts, when we're holding on to our idea of what we thought this moment should have been. Does that make sense to you? As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, play out with that thought. What does it feel like when I'm holding on to my idea of what I thought this moment should have been? Take your next big breath. Sometimes a moment arrives and I have planned for this moment. I've seen this moment in my mind, and the moment arrives and it's not quite the way I saw it. I had planned it differently. The picture in my mind looked different than what this moment turns out to be. And in a very human way, we tend to hold on to our idea of what we thought that this moment should have been. Do you have your own experience of this? Can you search back and find an example of a moment that arrived differently than you had anticipated? Were you able to easily let go of your thoughts of what this moment should have been and become open to what this moment is? Or was it a struggle? Take your next big breath. What does that say about setting intention? Because we often do this. We start our day by looking at the day ahead. We start our week by looking at the week ahead. And in our mind, we create a picture. I create a picture of what I want my day to be and how I want to show up in this day. Or I create a picture of what I want my week to be, or how I want to show up in this week. But our intention doesn't necessarily control the environment. It's very likely that the moment shows up and it doesn't look the same as the picture I made. How do we deal with this? Do we stop setting intention? Think about this for a moment as you take your next big breath. The question was, should we set intention? Because as I set my intention, I build a picture of what the moment should look like. And when that moment arrives, it is very likely that it doesn't look like the picture I made. We'll use another example. If I'm on a sailboat and I have a destination in mind, I look at the wind, I look at the waves, and I set my intention. And in the case with a sailboat, this is a very literal thing to do. I'm setting my sails. Take a moment to see that picture. You have a destination in mind, and just as you would set your intention, you've looked at the wind, you've looked at the weather, and now you set your sails, heading to the destination you have in mind. Take your next big breath. Now my intention, my perfectly clear intention, is unlikely to have an effect on the wind and the waves. And halfway through my journey, even though I did my best to understand the weather, to look at all the weather predictions, the weather might show up quite different than what my intention was. And the sails I set when I started off my journey might have been perfectly set to get me here. But the way they are set might work against me completely now that the weather's changed. Did I set the wrong intention? Did I set my sails the wrong way? Or is course correcting and resetting our sails not just something we have to always do? Take a moment to think about this. If the weather changes, the direction of the wind changes, but I don't change the sails, what happens? if I'm holding on to the thought of what this moment should have been while everything else has changed? What happens if I have resistance and I don't reset my sails? Take your next big breath. If I'm on a sailboat and I've set my sails with clear intention and I'm halfway through my journey but now the wind changes, how long should I hold on to my thoughts of what this moment should have been? Let me ask it differently. How quickly should I let go of my old thoughts of what this moment should have been? And how quickly do I need to reset my sails? A clear intention is what gives us direction. But we should not be confused. When the wind changes, we have to change our sails. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Read to you one more time. Lao Tzu's message for us today. He says, one who lives in accordance with nature, just like on a sailboat, using nature to reach your destination. One who lives in accordance with nature does not go against the way of things. He moves in harmony with the present moment, always knowing the truth of just what to do. Lao Tzu says, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. He says the past has no power to stop you from being present now. But your grievance about the past can certainly do that. He asks, what is grievance? It is the baggage of old thoughts and old emotions. That is what keeps us from being present. Lao Tzu says, he who controls his thoughts about the past controls his future. And then he speaks about just one more example of something that often makes us struggle to be present. He says, new beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. Painful endings. It is like a door slamming in our face. A door that is now closed, but used to be open. It's a great example of how we often struggle with being present, because we tend to not embrace the fact that this door is closed, which now it is. But using Lao Tzu's words, we tend to hold on to grievance about the past. And in the example of the door, we tend to be very invested in the fact that this door used to be open. And it's true that this is not always an easy process. I'm not saying it is easy and it should always happen quickly. Sometimes we need to work through the fact that this door used to be open, but now it is closed. That can take time. But at the end of the day, the only effective way to spend my energy is to stop wasting my energy through knocking on this door. Because I could spend all of my energy knocking on a door that will never open again. And that is just not helpful. When I'm able to become present, I can take a step back from this door, and I can recognize that there are other doors to knock on. And it would likely be a much more productive use of my energy if I go and knock on a different door. Can you let go of your thoughts, the idea of what you thought this moment should have been? Of course, it is a journey. It takes us time to learn. But you're here, and you're taking a new step every day. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for the opportunity to be present right now. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for seeing with clarity that being present really is only about not trying to be somewhere else. Whatever moment I find myself in, just don't try and be somewhere else. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for remembering to ask this question. What does this moment require of me? What does this moment require of me? How should I change the setting of my sails? Take a deep breath in. And thank you for the reminder that every moment brings opportunity. It doesn't matter how bad the moment might feel, every moment brings opportunity. But if I'm trying to be somewhere else, I will obviously miss the opportunity. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. You can't control the direction the wind blows. We can never control that. But you can set your sails so that you reach any destination on the planet, as long as it has a coastline, of course. I love the image that creates. You can't control the direction the wind blows, but you can set your sails so that you reach any destination. But that requires being present. Because when the wind changes and I still feel like, but I wanted to, then I'm already blown off course. Hey Charlene, a very good morning to you. It's good to see you. Thank you, Grain. Thank you, Sunray. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Colette. Have a beautiful day. And yeah, if you have to reset your sails today, well, reset them when it's necessary. It doesn't have to be a big story. Lots of love to you all. Ciao, ciao.